In a quiet village, nestled between hills and rivers, there lived a wise old man named Arnav. Arnav had spent his youth traveling far and wide, learning the wisdom of many lands. Now in his old age, he lived a simple life, spending his days gardening, meditating, and offering advice to those who sought his wisdom. One day, a young boy named Samir came to visit him. Samir was known throughout the village as kind-hearted, always going out of his way to help others. He would lend his toys, give away his food, and assist with everyone's errands. But lately, Samir had grown weary. He felt drained and unappreciated, and the more he gave, the less respect he seemed to receive. Confused and frustrated, he sought Arnav's guidance. "Wise Arnav," Samir began, sitting on a large stone beside the old man's modest hut. "I don't understand. I try to help everyone. I do what they ask, but no one seems to care. I feel empty." Arnav looked at the boy with a kind smile. "You are a good soul, Samir, but tell me, why do you give so much to others?" "Because I want to be liked. I want them to think well of me. I don't want to disappoint anyone," Samir replied earnestly. Arnav nodded. "There is nothing wrong with helping others, but there is a problem when you allow them to take from you without end, leaving nothing behind for yourself. You must learn, Samir, to stop being soft for everyone." Samir frowned. "Stop being soft? But isn't kindness a good thing?" "Kindness is powerful," Arnav agreed, "but being soft is different. Softness, in this context, means allowing others to shape you, bend you, and drain you. It means losing your own strength in an attempt to please everyone." Arnav rose slowly, gesturing for Samir to follow him to a nearby tree. The tree stood tall and strong, its branches reaching high, casting shade over the small garden below. "Look at this tree," Arnav said. "Do you think it would survive if it bent to the will of every storm, or let every animal and person strip away its bark and leaves?" Samir shook his head. "No, the tree would fall. It would die." "Exactly," Arnav said. "But the tree stands firm. It offers shade, fruit, and beauty, yet it does not allow anyone to weaken its roots. It does not sacrifice itself to give endlessly. You must learn to be like this tree, Samir. Strong, rooted, and generous, but not at the expense of your own well-being." Samir pondered Arnav's words. "But how can I be strong without hurting others' feelings?" Arnav chuckled softly. "Ah, that is where true wisdom comes in. Strength is not about pushing others away, but about knowing when to say no. It is about recognizing your own limits. Those who truly care for you will respect your boundaries. Those who do not respect them are the ones taking advantage of your softness." He continued, "The world is full of people who will take more than they give if you allow them. They will pull on your energy, your time, your kindness, until there is nothing left of you. But your strength lies in your ability to choose when to give and when to hold back." Samir sat down under the tree, deep in thought. "But I've always believed that if I say no or refuse, people won't like me. I'm scared of that." Arnav sat beside him and placed a gentle hand on the boy's shoulder. "The fear of not being liked is a common one, especially for those with big hearts. But tell me this, do you truly want the approval of those who only value you when you give them something?" Samir hesitated. "I guess not. The people who genuinely care for you will appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them." Arnav said, "You don't need to be liked by everyone, and you don't need to exhaust yourself to earn love. True love and respect come from those who value your strength and your boundaries." The next day, Arnav decided to take Samir on a journey into the hills. As they climbed, Samir noticed the landscape becoming more rugged and the path harder to follow. The young boy started to grow tired, and when they reached a steep incline, he stopped. "I don't think I can go any further," Samir admitted, panting. Arnav smiled gently. "You've walked a long way and you're tired. There's nothing wrong with stopping when you need to. Now, imagine if you were carrying the weight of everyone's burdens on your back as well." Samir's eyes widened as he imagined himself struggling up the hill, carrying not only his own exhaustion, but the weight of others' problems as well. Arnav continued, "That's what happens when you take on too much from others. Life has its own challenges, and you need to conserve your energy for what truly matters. If you try to carry everything for everyone, you'll collapse before you reach your own goals." As they sat on a large boulder overlooking the village below, Arnav shared one final story with Samir. Years ago, when I was younger like you, I had a friend named Kiran. He was the kindest person I knew, always putting others before himself. But he had no boundaries. People would ask him for help constantly, and he never said no. Over time, Kiran began to feel resentful, drained by the constant demands. He lost touch with who he was, always bending to please others. One day he came to me, much like you did, and asked why he felt so empty despite giving so much. I told him the same thing I'm telling you. Stop being soft for everyone. Focus on building your own strength, your own purpose. Kiran took that advice, and though it was hard at first, he started saying no when he needed to. He began to prioritize himself, and in doing so, found that he was able to give more meaningfully to those who truly mattered. Kiran became a successful man, not because he stopped caring, but because he learned to care for himself first. He became like this mountain, steady, firm, and able to support others without losing his own foundation. Samir listened intently, feeling the weight of Arnav's words settle in his heart. So, to help others, I need to help myself first? Yes, Arnav said. You cannot pour from an empty cup. By setting boundaries, you protect your energy and ensure that when you do give, it is from a place of strength, not weakness. Samir looked out at the horizon, feeling a sense of clarity he had never felt before. He understood now that being kind didn't mean sacrificing himself. It meant being strong enough to choose when and how to give. And it meant being brave enough to say no when needed. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the village below, Samir turned to Arnav. Thank you, wise Arnav. I think I understand now. I will stop being soft for everyone. I will be strong like the tree, like the mountain. Arnav smiled, his eyes filled with pride. You have the heart of a kind soul, Samir. Never lose that. But remember, kindness must be balanced with strength. Only then can you truly make a difference in the world without losing yourself. With those words, Samir and Arnav made their way back down the hill, both feeling lighter and more at peace. Samir knew that his journey of growth had just begun, but he was no longer afraid. He was ready to embrace his strength and set the boundaries that would allow him to thrive, not just for others, but for himself as well.